Good evening, my dear friend. The soft hum of my laptop has become a comforting sound these past few nights. A reminder of this bridge we're building across the miles. I hope this message finds you well, wrapped up warm in your research station as another Antarctic night settles in. Remember how we used to discuss my dream of working at the environmental research station? How we'd spend hours debating the impact of invasive species over cold pints at the pub, or those cups of tea that always went cold before we finished them? Well, I have some exciting news to share. I received an email yesterday that literally made my heart skip a beat. The research station had finally reviewed my application and wanted to interview me for the position, studying invasive species along our coast. I wish you could have seen my face when I read that email. I must have reread it a dozen times to make sure I wasn't imagining things. I wanted to call you right away, but then I remembered your limited connectivity. So I've been sitting on this news, bursting to tell you. They had given me the option of coming in today. So of course, I jumped at the chance. I replied immediately, my fingers trembling with excitement as I typed. The rest of the evening was a blur of preparation, rehearsing potential questions and trying to anticipate every scenario. I awoke this morning with a mix of excitement and trepidation, the enormity of the opportunity ahead finally sinking in. After all the late nights studying and the stress of final exams, it's hard to believe that today marked my first step into the professional world of biology. The interview at the Environmental Research Station felt like both an ending and a beginning, the culmination of years of hard work and the potential start of an exciting career. Studying invasive species along our coast. In the pale light of a cloudy August morning that filtered through my curtains, I meticulously laid out the outfit you suggested I wear for serious occasions such as this. Remember the blazer that you insist brings out the colour of my eyes? I decided to pair it with a cute white blouse, and as I smoothed down the fabric, I couldn't help but smile, remembering your encouraging words about how this day would come before I knew it. The forecast promised rain, but I decided a short walk would help settle my nerves. With 2 hours until the interview, I had time for a brief detour. Armed with my trusty umbrella and a bag full of carefully prepared documents, I set out. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and blooming flowers, a reminder of nature's resilience even in our urban setting. As I meandered along the winding path, mentally rehearsing potential interview questions about marine ecology and data collection methods, I noticed an elderly gentleman peering intently at a worn map. His brow was furrowed in concentration, and he muttered softly to himself. Something about his determined yet slightly bewildered demeanour tugged at my heart. "Excuse me, sir," I ventured. "Might I be of assistance?" He looked up, surprise melting into a warm smile. "Oh, thank you, my dear. I'm afraid I'm a bit turned around. I'm looking for a rather elusive plant species, you see." The gentleman introduced himself as Mr. Thompson, a retired botanist with a penchant for rare flora. As he spoke of the plant he sought, a delicate bell-shaped flower called Campanula patula, or the spreading bellflower, thought to be declining in our region, I found my own curiosity piqued. Aware of my time constraint, I offered to help for just a few minutes. We set off together, two unlikely explorers in the misty morning. Mr. Thompson regaled me with tales of his botanical adventures across the globe, each story more fascinating than the last. In turn, I shared my own passion for biology and my hopes for the position studying the impact of invasive cordgrass on native ecosystems. As we ventured into a less travelled path, the world seemed to shift around us. The mist thickened, lending an air of mystery to the familiar landscape. Near a secluded pond, hidden behind a curtain of weeping willows, we found a small cluster of delicate, pale purple flowers, the spreading bellflower. Mr. Thompson's joy was palpable, his eyes shining with the excitement of discovery. "My dear," he said, turning to me with a solemn expression, "you've been instrumental in this find. Please take this as a token of my gratitude." From his pocket, he produced a small, intricately carved wooden charm depicting intertwined vines. "It's brought me luck in all my adventures. Perhaps it will do the same for you." As I accepted the charm, a warm tingle spread through my fingers. Whether it was the magic of the moment or simply my imagination, I couldn't say. Glancing at my watch, I realised I had just enough time to make it to the interview if I hurried. With a heartfelt goodbye to Mr. Thompson, I dashed back towards the park entrance, my mind now filled with thoughts of both invasive species and rare native plants. The city seemed determined to test my resolve. A street repair blocked my usual route, forcing a detour. Then, as if on cue, the heavens opened, rain pouring down in sheets. I clutched my documents close, grateful for the waterproof bag you had insisted I use. Breathless, I arrived at the research station with minutes to spare. As I entered, smoothing my damp hair and straightening my blazer, I was greeted by Dr. Laura Chen, the lead researcher. Her warm smile put me at ease as we began the interview. To my surprise, I found myself not just reciting prepared answers, but speaking passionately about the morning's adventure, drawing parallels between the spreading bellflower's decline and the impact of invasive species, discussing the importance of preserving biodiversity, and emphasising the need for thorough fieldwork and community engagement in conservation efforts. Dr. Chen seemed intrigued by my perspective, asking thoughtful questions about how I would apply this holistic view to studying cordgrass invasion in coastal salt marshes. As we talked, I felt the wooden charm warm against my skin, almost as if it were encouraging me. Now, as evening falls and I sit by my window, watching the last of the rain patter against the glass, I find myself filled with a sense of wonder. Today reminded me that in biology, as in life, the most meaningful discoveries often come unexpectedly, hidden just off the beaten path. I don't yet know if I'll get the position, but somehow that seems less important now. What matters is the journey, the hidden ponds waiting to be explored, the interconnectedness of all living things, and the magic that reveals itself when we open our hearts to the unexpected. As you drift off to sleep tonight, my dear friend, I hope you carry with you a sense of life's endless possibilities. May your dreams be filled with rare flowers and thrilling scientific discoveries. And perhaps, when you wake, you'll look at the familiar world around you with new eyes, ready to uncover the extraordinary in the ordinary. Sweet dreams, and until we speak again, may you find your own hidden wonders in the complex ecosystem of life. Good night.